Welcome to Folios, the Meter Center's series of presentations on items from its rare book collection. Today I'm going to talk a little more about psalms and psalters, and I want to talk now about the practice of psalm singing outside of church. Because in church, obviously as I said, that singing was done unaccompanied and in unison. But outside church, people could sing the psalms and did sing the psalms at home, at work, sometimes as they traveled. Some instances indicate that before the Huguenots went into battle, they sang psalms. And psalm singing outside of church was done in harmony, right? You could sing in harmony so long as you were doing it outside church. And it turns out it became a pastime for people to sing the psalms together outside of church. Now, there were composers who practiced just putting everything into harmony settings, and that was fine. Often when that's done, you'll find that the melody line is in the tenor part, not in the soprano part, which we're usually used to, but in the tenor part, and that's a legacy from Gregorian chants. And in fact, a lot of the melodies of the psalms are thought to have come from simplified Gregorian chants. So there's a connection there that goes prior to the Reformation into the medieval period. But singing psalms at home was a pastime that people enjoyed. But clearly, when it comes to publishing books to sing psalms in harmony at home, it could get very expensive, because you might have to have a book for each person who's trying to read the music. That could be very, very pricey. So some printers got very ingenious and printed psalters, or printed collections of psalms in harmony, where the parts of the psalms were laid out on the page so that the page was divided in half that way and in half that way. So on each of the four corners, facing in different directions, were the different parts. So the tenor and the alto could be on this side, and then the bass and the soprano could be on that side, and you could hold one book out flat, and everyone could see their part. And that is very, very ingenious, because now you need only one book for four singers. So that works out very well. We have an example here. So this is actually from a Dutch psalter. This is a 1600s. This was published in, I'm trying to find the date for it, 1662. So it's much, much later. It says the 150 Psalms of David. And this is a setting which is using the versifications of Peter Datain, who was a Dutch theologian, pastor, who also worked on music, and he was the one who versified a lot of the Dutch Psalms and did the version of Psalms into Dutch that really became the dominant one for the Netherlands in the 16th and 17th century. So this book, 1662, has one example of what was called a psalm in reports, and I'm going to try and show it to you. Now, this example is a bit odd because the two sets of psalms do not actually match. So on this side, you can see that the alto has got Psalm 125, and the soprano has got Psalm 23, which is a little confusing already. So it's not exactly the right sort of model. But if I turn the book the other way around, you can see that on this side, the tenor has Psalm 128 and the bass has Psalm 23. And what is possibly that what happened here is that the printer wanted to show how this could be done, but didn't set it right, so it wasn't the same set for all four parts. But this is the idea, where you would have one book and you could hold it up and each side could see their part.